Hello, statistics students. We're going to finish up Chapter 2, Section 1 today, looking at a couple of different graphs. In our previous lesson, we did cover relative frequency histogram, which is just like a histogram. The rectangles will be the same shape and the same relative height of the histogram. The only thing that changes is instead of counts on the y-axis, we're looking at the relative frequency, which is either a decimal number between 0 and 1 inclusive, or maybe you convert those to percentages. But that is a relative frequency histogram. If it's just a frequency histogram, you have the counts on the y-axis. If it's a relative frequency histogram, you have the relative frequency on the y-axis. There's an extra step involved from the frequency histogram. You have to take each of those frequencies and divide it by sigma f. Now again, sigma means sum of the frequencies, which sometimes we call n for number of data points. So the horizontal axis stays the same. Again, I prefer using boundaries rather than midpoints, but that's up to you. In class, right now, we would have a musical interlude before we go to our last graph here in this section, the ogive. And an ogive is a cumulative frequency graph. So we just talked about how we would graph a relative frequency. Think for a moment what cumulative frequency is. At the end of each interval, you add up how many data points you've encountered so far. And for the ogive, you must use the upper class boundaries to make sure that you've gotten all the data points up to that point. So we do not use histograms. We do not use midpoints on an ogive. Only upper class boundaries. And we'll go over in class how to graph an ogive. So that's a very brief video to end this section, and hope you have a great day.